Well, happening in the Commonwealth today, lawmakers in Harrisburg had education on their mind. Arguments over state funding are being complicated from uncertainty around federal money. Our Pennsylvania State Capitol correspondent Kara Jeffers reports live from Harrisburg tonight. Kara, what's in the air down there surrounding education this year?
Good evening, Nick. Senators on the Budget Committee heard testimony from the Department of Education today. Pennsylvania spends a third of its state budget, over $18 billion, on education every year, divvying that up between over 500 school districts. How to divvy that up is always a big part of the conversation. However, last night, the U.S. Congress also had a budget vote that includes cuts to education. We'll see how that plays out as well.
We will not go down quietly. We will use our voices. We are loud, and this is just the beginning because we will get louder.
Today, Senate Democrats and education advocates sounded alarms on potential cuts to federal education funds.
To do what we have to do here in Harrisburg to protect the state funding. But if that becomes a reality in Washington, D.C., it becomes a much different conversation here in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania gets roughly $2.8 billion in federal funds for public school districts. The money comes through specific programs for things like special education and support for students from low-income families. While targeted investments, federal funds often make up less than 5% of a school district's budget. Most of the money comes from local taxes and state funds.
I wish we'd hear just a little more from the other side related to how we're going to fix Pennsylvania's issues and a lot less about what the unknown is at this very moment coming out of Washington, D.C.
Lawmakers in Harrisburg created new formulas for distributing state money to school districts last year. This year, Shapiro wants to increase funds that go through that formula by over $500 million. Republicans remain wary that increased spending has not led to better student performance.
There needs to be accountability. We're more than just, hey, here's a check, do whatever you want with it. If our kids can't read at level, if they can't write, if they can't do basic math skills, that's a real problem.
Also a part of these education conversations, a Commonwealth Court ruling 2 years ago now said that the over-reliance on property tax in our local school districts is unconstitutional. That, paired with concerns about future budget deficits, will continue to shape this conversation in Harrisburg. I'm Kara Jeffers, WENY News.